today I have a video on Metal Gear Solid 1. So, I just beat the game, and I had a really good time with it. And I have a lot of stuff I want to talk about with it. So, I don't want to waste too much time, but quickly, I just want to talk about one thing. So, we're on the verge of hitting our 500 subscriber goal. I know that I've been talking about this for a while, and we're almost at it. So, if anyone would like to subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate that. And without further ado, let's get into the video. For being a stealth game, the game is really fucking good at being a stealth game. You'll find yourself climbing through vents, evading cameras, evading patrols, using suppressors, cardboard boxes, etc, etc. The game very much feels like a stealth game. This ain't no Halo 3 ODST where they give you silenced weapons, but they don't have any silencing buff. The game is very stealthy, and I applaud it for that. You have a very good arsenal of weapons in this game. You have a silenced pistol, aka the SOCOM, a FAMAS, a few rocket launchers, a bunch of different types of grenades, and the sniper rifle, although the sniper rifle is very wonky. I also like the touch that you can't really deal with large groups of enemies without either one dying or losing like half of your rations. I tried that once, and I just kept dying. I couldn't do it. So I like that because it really enforces the fact that you have to be stealthy. On that note, the game is very punishing. One time, I forgot to bring some extra rations when fighting Revolver Ocelot, and I was just there for like an hour. Let's go, bitch. Let's go, Ocelot. No! Ah, damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! He got me. It was fucking hell. Actually, on the topic of the boss fights, I want to talk about them real quick. So, I played the game on normal, and even then, some of these boss fights were stupidly difficult. Both of Raven's encounters weren't that bad, actually. They were pretty easy. But both of Sniper Wolf's encounters, all three of Liquid Snake's encounters, and Cyborg Ninja's boss fight were so fucking difficult to the point where you have to be pixel perfect at times in order to win. For every single one of the fights, you cannot just wing it. You have to adopt a very specific strategy in order to win. There's no problem with that, but I'm just saying, in terms of options, you don't really have much. I only beat Sniper Wolf's second encounter because I just looked up a guide and decided to cheese her with rockets. I don't know, man. The bosses aren't bad, but they're just very clearly very aged, and I think they can use a bit of work. But from what I've heard from Metal Gear Solid 2, the bosses do improve a lot in that game, from what I've heard. I'd say that Psycho Mantis is probably the fairest one, because you have a lot of room and freedom with how you encounter him. So I'd probably say that he's the fairest one. He's also probably my favorite one. The gameplay all around is pretty solid. The game can be very punishing, very brutal, and very unforgiving if you don't know what you're doing or not paying attention. But I still had a very good time with it, and I had a lot of fun, especially when it came to the stealth sections. But I digress. Now I want to talk about the real important part of the game, that being the story. Explaining this game's plot and story is kind of a mess, so we'll try and take it slowly. So, the basic plot is that Solid Snake is sent into a nuclear base in Alaska to prevent a nuclear attack from a group of rogue terrorists called Foxhound. Foxhound basically threatening the United States with nuclear weapons if they don't get the remains of somebody called Big Boss and $1 billion alongside that. The game is set up nicely enough to where you know everything you need to know, but where you're still intrigued and still need to learn more about what's going on. First, I want to start with the characters, starting with Solid Snake himself. Snake is a battle-hardened war veteran. He clearly has a lot of experience and clearly knows what the fuck he's doing. He's got a pretty secluded backstory that I've yet to piece together perfectly, with some guy named Grey Fox and some guy named Big Boss. He's also brothers with the main villain. Next we have Meryl. Now, Meryl is the complete opposite of Snake. She has absolutely no experience to speak of, although ever since she was a child, she wanted to be a soldier. However, now that she's getting to that point, she can't decide if that's what she really wants. During the game, her and Snake actually fall in love, and they actually ride out with each other at the end of the game. Next we have Otacon. Now, I fucking love Otacon.
Snake, it's Otacon. I have a warning for you. We just got a hot tip. Hatsune Miku is in the area.
This guy is a complete fucking weeaboo, and I love it. He helps us out a lot during the game. He even has a little bit of a crush on Sniper Wolf. He also has a device that lets him go invisible. Next we have Revolver Ocelot. Now, aside from being a Russian terrorist that enjoys torture and probably is a communist, this guy's an absolute fucking kitty.
This is the greatest handgun ever made. The Colt's Single Action Army.
Next we have Vulcan Raven. Now, this guy is pretty much if you take the innate male urge for violence, war, and domination and put that into a physical form. I mean, the guy carries a huge fucking machine gun that probably weighs like 2 tons. He's giving Arnold Schwarzenegger vibes. Next we have Sniper Wolf. Now, from what I understand, Sniper Wolf isn't straight up evil like the other villains are. From what I understand, she's actually kind of a nice person, but she just wants revenge on the United States government. I'm pretty sure that she's also in Metal Gear Solid 3, which takes place 30 years in the past. So, I don't know how that's gonna link up with this game and that game, but I digress. She's also really fucking hot. Psycho Mantis. Now, I love Psycho Mantis for one reason. Not because he has a kick-ass design, not because he has a kick-ass power, not because he has a really sad death scene, but because he calls Snake gay. Next we have Cyborg Ninja, or Gray Fox. This guy used to be Snake's friend in the past, from what I understand, but Snake betrayed him and left him for dead, and now he's back trying to get revenge. That's what I understand of this character. I need to do more research. He has a badass fucking design though. As somebody who played Metal Gear Rising first, I think his design looks awesome. Next we have Liquid Snake. Now, Liquid Snake is Solid Snake's brother. More on that later. The guy gives off really strong Dio vibes with his long blonde hair and his really strong and charismatic British accent. He disguises himself as Master for like half the game, which is kind of funny when you think about it. So, from what I understand, his motivation is to make money so he could build a base called Outer Heaven to fulfill his father's dream. I probably am getting that wrong, but that's what I understand. There's also other characters like Colonel Campbell, Mei Ling, and Natasha. There's also Naomi Hunter, but I'll talk about her later. All the characters are very well written. Psycho Mantis, for example. I didn't expect him to be that good of a character, but then I saw his death scene and I was actually like impressed. Like, this was actually pretty sad, and I didn't know a single thing about the character before then. Same thing for Sniper Wolf's death scene. I really didn't expect it to be that fucking sad, but god damn, it actually really affected me. I didn't cry, but I really wanted to. Liquid just wouldn't fucking die though. I'm pretty sure he survives like 4 deaths in the whole game. You shoot down his helicopter, he survives that. You blow him up in Metal Gear Rex, he survives that. You kick him off Metal Gear Rex, he survives that. And he survives a fucking car crash. The guy just doesn't want to fucking die. The guy survives a helicopter crash. He survives blowing up in Metal Gear Rex, which carries nuclear missiles, and he survives falling to his death from like 100 feet, and survives a car crash, only to be killed by fucking AIDS. Like, talk about negative aura. On the topic of AIDS, the AIDS that killed him was called Fox Dye, which was made by Naomi Hunter to kill Snake and all the Foxhound members, from what I understand. I don't know. So apparently Snake is gonna die from Foxhound eventually, but I don't know when. I mean Snake is in Metal Gear Solid 4 and he looks like an old man in 4, so I imagine it will take a while to kill him, but I don't know. That's something for me to look forward to in the future. So, Liquid tells Snake that they're actually both clones of that so-named Big Boss, and that they were cloned as a way to, like, make better soldiers. That's what I understand. And Liquid hates Snake because Snake is actually the perfect one, and Liquid is the failure. I'm sure this will be covered in the other games, but for now, it's a little bit confusing, but I'm sure a few lore videos will help me figure it out. Anywho, you travel through the base, a few people die of AIDS, you kill a few people, you make it to Metal Gear Rex, you blow it up, and live happily ever after. So, it's a pretty good story. It stands on its own, and it handles itself pretty well. It's not the best story ever, but it's all things considered, it's really good. The characters are all very memorable, especially Otacon. I fucking love Otacon. I'm very excited to see what the sequels have to offer. So, my thoughts on Metal Gear Solid 1 as somebody who played Rising Revengeance first. Well, I love it. I think it's very well made, and there's clearly a lot of love put into it. I also think the graphics are very pretty. I know it's old and it's, like, very dated, but it's just something about that old PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, like, graphics that's just so pretty. Although, I do think that it's a bit dumb that the moment you're spotted, you don't even have a millisecond to react before they all just suddenly know where you are, but I digress. So, yeah, that's really all I have for this video. I don't know what my next video is gonna be. I'm really hoping on some news for the Dark Ages DLC soon, because I really am really excited for it, and I just want to make a video on it soon. So, yeah, that's really all I have for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.